In this video, I hope to get through the second and third questions on the chapter reading about the Roman Republic. These are quite closely related, so I think I should get through them in time. The first question was about how did the politics and values of the Roman Republic change over time? Well, the Roman Republic was supposed to be based on values of people serving the good of the Republic. It was a system with lots of checks and balances to ensure no one man was too powerful, and people were meant to serve the state out of a sense of duty. The classic model for what a Roman should be like was Cincinnatus, a general who came out of retirement to serve Rome, and then when he was no longer needed, he went back to his farm and lived a life once again as a private citizen. In practice, that didn't happen, especially in the later Republic. We see a decline in the sense of public service, and it is replaced by ambitious individuals, particularly with the rise of the military. In the later Republic, generals such as Marius and Sulla in the early 1st century BCE, and Caesar and Pompey later on, their men serve their general, they're loyal to their general. He's the one who pays and rewards them, rather than them being loyal to the Republic as a whole. So we see the rise of a strong military and the rise of powerful factions and politicians who are out for themselves or for their particular group, rather than being out for the interests of Rome as a whole. We see the origins of what's called clientels, where wealthy Romans pay people to follow them, to vote for them in elections, to intimidate the opposition, etc. Again, another example of people being loyal to a leader rather than to the Republic. This is closely related to my second question, which is, why did the Republic come to an end? Well, one problem was military leaders who commanded the loyalty of their men rather than the men being loyal to the Republic. Examples I've already cited of some powerful generals such as that. There were social tensions. The spread of the empire had turned Rome from being a city-state to a great power, with the resulting rise in social inequality between the rich and the poor, many Romans falling into landlessness and the big wealthy elite of owners of vast estates dominating at the top. This led to conflicts such as the Social War, when Rome's allies in Italy, who had to pay Roman taxes and provide Roman soldiers but did not have representation as citizens, rebelled. Also, the slave revolt led by Spartacus was another symbol in the 1st century BCE of those social tensions. Political factions emerged, exacerbated by powerful generals and rich men with their clients. A key factional divide was between the optimates, who supposedly represented the wealthy, and the populares, who were supposed to represent the ordinary people, though in practice, the leaders didn't really fight over high-minded ideas so much as getting influence. One historian called these factions not political parties in the true sense, but rather just means to an end for people to rise in their political careers by using one party or the other to get ahead. All of this in the end leads to military dictatorship. Groups of people such as the triumvirate of Crassus, Pompey, and Caesar, or later on, Caesar himself taking absolute power. Although Caesar technically was a ruler under the Republic, you could argue he was the first emperor in all but name. The Republic is pretty much dead by the time Caesar makes himself dictator for life.